Now, let's start. This is my eggplant. This is my mancozeb. I shake it, shake it, shake it. I forgot to mention, this is, when you are preparing this, you use 7 gram in 1 liter of water. 7 gram. So cut it, soak it, cover it. I've already set my timer, so I need to shake it occasionally. Shake it occasionally, like this. So this is how it's going to be for the next 10 minutes. I will just be shaking it occasionally so that the mancozeb will not form some sediment. Shake it. It will be there. So it's 10 minutes. So after 10 minutes, I will decant this. I'll decant that. So I'm going to expose the vines like this, like this, like this. So I'm done with mancozeb like this. So I will leave it here for approximately 30 minutes. So after 30 minutes, the disinfection process will continue with 70% ethanol. It's 30 minutes. 30 minutes exposure. 30 minutes. So I'll rinse. Sterilize the still water. All the working environment must be clean. All the working environment must be clean. So next, ethanol 70%. Shake. My timer is set already. 5 minutes. But I will shake. Shake, 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 shake. It's 5 minutes. So I decant. Decant. I rinse again. Shake, 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 shake. I'm done with 70. I'm done with the first one, Mankuzev. The second one, 70% ethanol. Then the third one now, which is sodium hypochlorite, 50% commercial jig. Pour it. For 5 minutes. My timer is working. Shake. I shake. So I'll be shaking it occasionally like that for the next 5 minutes. 10 minutes. So the last one is 20% jig. Shaking occasionally. This is the last stage. Ten minutes completed. I shake. I decant. So because this is the last stage, so we need to give it a thorough rinsing, a thorough one. So I'm going to rinse this one 3 times. 3 times. So now, this explant, this nodal cutting is free from any form of fungi spore. It's free from fungi after going through all this surface disinfection. Another thing I I've not mentioned is some of the challenges in tissue culture, which is contamination. Remember that we are making sure that this thing is clean. Contamination can come from anywhere. If we did not carry this process, if we did not follow this process up thoroughly, contamination can set in. Contamination can come from handling. Even though all these plants, explants, they are clean, if the person that is handling it did not handle it very well, contamination will set in. If the containers we are using is not clean, contamination will set in. That is why everything we use inside tissue culture lab for this process needs to be sterilized. That means they need to be autoclaved at 121 degrees for minimum of 10 to 15 minutes. If the condition of the room that we are working is not good, contamination can set in. So those are the things that cause contamination. So but at this stage now, this plant is clean, already clean from fungi spore and any form of fungi, so it is clean. Now we are doing 3 stages. The first one is to eliminate fungi. We have done that. Now the second one is to eliminate the virus, which is going to be done through the use of microscope. Then after, the last one, the third one, is bacteria indexing, where we are going to select those one out of them that is free from bacteria. Another thing I want you to know is that these vines that we collected, because the process is, like a cycle. This vine that we collected, we assume that it is infected plantlet, tubers that we plant. That is why we are passing through the process of virus cleaning. But let's assume that the plant that we cut is a plant that has already passed through tissue culture, in which the tuber that we cut is already virus free. If that is the case, we are not going to pass through virus cleaning again. What we do is that this node, we just plant it directly inside the medium, provided the virus status has already been established, has already been known, if the plant has passed through this stage before. So sideway, I will show you. The next stage now is to go to the microscope and remove the meristem. But I will show you another step, that assuming that the plant is free of virus, all this process has been carried out before. That means we are going to plant it directly inside the medium. Let me show you that. So what we want to do now is what we call meristem excision. This process is the process of virus elimination. The thing is that we are going to put the explant under the microscope. Don't forget, the first thing we did was to prepare the medium. We call this one meristem medium, the medium that supports the growth of meristem cultures. Inside here now we have sugar, we have inositol, we have different types of hormones that support the growth of meristem. So is here. The process is actually microscopic. I'm going to do it under the microscope. So I'm going to zoom in so that at least you can see how the process is being done. But by the time I remove the meristem with this same surgical blade, you will not be able to see it because it is very, very microscopic. So what I do is that I will put this down. Let me use to zoom in. See that? They are there. So I'm going to look through here. The meristem is at this point. The meristem is at this point. The meristem, which is the actively dividing cell, is at this point. So what I will do is I will cut this first branch. I will cut this. Then I will locate the meristem. The meristem is actually covered with so many primordial leaves. So I'm going to be removing the primordial leaves one after the other till I get to a dome-shaped meristematic cell. I will now remove it and I will plate it under the meristem medium. So let me try and do this. Let me focus. Let me do the focusing. Can zoom in. You might not be able to see it very well. I'm doing it like this. Doing it like this. I've already carried the meristem. You will not be able to see it, but I've carried it. It's at the tip. It's at the tip. Very tip. So I'll come here. Carefully drop it. Carefully drop it there. And I'm going to cover it. I'm going to cover it. So it's there, but it is very, very small, very, very microscopic. Another thing is that when we are doing this process, almost all the process, when we are working under the fluid, it's just because this is just for a class. When we are working, we don't talk at all, because by the time you are talking, you can be introducing something inside the plate or the working environment. So under normal circumstances, we don't talk, but because this is not a strict one, it's just for a class, so that is why when I'm working, I'm talking. So now, this one now, there is a meristematic cell inside this meristem medium. So what I will do is I will cover it . We call this one paraffin. paraffin, cover it. So I cover it with paraffin. That's it. Then I put the variety name. Let's say variety 520 is the name. It was done today. We write today's date, 25/5/20. Then we transfer it to the shelf where it will start growing. So I'm taking it to the shelf now. So I drop it in on the shelf. Now this is where we call